I do want to touch on this last story, and I know that you guys think that this is the topic that I most want to talk about. In fact, I was a little bit pissed when I thought, oh, fuck, we really probably should talk about this, because this conversation around the BSA and Sean Plunket is continuing. Now, the thing that happened today is he is on the verge of making a retraction. What is he making a retraction about? He's making a retraction about doxing the gentleman. Now, do you remember that? I think we may have played it, and so we probably in part were some of the reason the gentleman's name went out there. But when we talked about his listener who came at us, we didn't mention that person's name. Although the person who came at us, Chewie informed me, is fairly well known and very Googleable. So if we had have mentioned that person's name, everyone would have been able to look at that. Now, I suspect a couple of things, Chewie. If you know who the person is who made the complaint, or you've got a connection, I would like to connect with them. I've tried today, but part of me kind of goes, well, maybe they haven't been bombarded with revolting mail because they've been quite hard to find. I've spent a bit of time trying to actually locate them to see if we can talk to them. But it sounds to me like this man is backpedaling, realizing he has doxed someone and that someone is suffering at the hands of his flying monkeys. That could be wrong, because I do go, I'm pretty good at finding people online. I struggle to, maybe not, but that's what it sounds like. There's one other thing it could be about, Chewie, and I'll do that in a second. Let's have a listen to the walk back.
Look, I want to start this morning with a request of you. As you know, issues around the BSA and the platform have become quite the news, and in fact, telling you I've had a message from, it's gone international, I've had a message from Sky News in Australia who want me to do an interview with them. It's going to be sometime before midnight tonight.
I don't know, but if he is, we wish him well. Sorry.
But I will talk to them.
What a master. That radio station in Australia, television station, oh yeah, okay, I guess I'll have to talk to them.
And I will, we'll play that afterwards. I'm going to go on with a guy called Paul Harvey, who does an excellent show on Sky News in Australia, a political show. And we will talk about this issue because it's very important to many of you during the course of the morning, despite what the left-wing trolls who are now going to text me and say, move on, say.
I thought about this today. He talked about this a lot again today for some reason. He's talking about this because it has impacted him. Mm. This is an important story because it has impacted him. He has spent days because something has annoyed him. And I thought about what we were doing tonight, talking about the wild weather, talking about the strikes, talking about, Martima and David Seymour. He has had a self-flagellating week that the only reason he's talking about this is because it's impacted him. And every time he says it's about the platform and it's about you and it's about everybody on the internet. No, it's about him. And that's the only reason this is being talked about. But still, we'll get to what he says about the original complainant.
And some amazing revelations overnight. But I do want to make a serious plea and request of you.
Now, serious plea, Chewie, implies shit's been going down, stuff's been happening, and you guys got to stop.
All this was supposedly sparked, though I don't think it really was, by a complaint to me about a program we aired, not a program, about something I said in June or July. And this person wrote to me saying he wanted to complain under the BSA, and I said, you can't, you plonker, I'm not covered. And things developed from there. That individual's identity, I guess, was disclosed when I published all my correspondence from the BSA.
I guess. The balance of probability, maybe it was me who released the person's name, and while I released it, I said, I don't care. I can release it because it's in the document. That was the vibe of what he did. Maybe.
Quick question there, Professor. Would someone that's worked in the industry of journalism for as long as Oliver has, would he know that you should probably scrub personal details off a document before you release it? Like just as basic journalistic ethics 101?
Yeah, yeah. You should
Okay.
know that. You
Cool.
should know.
That's
Kind of like what
unrelated.
we did when someone complained to us. That kind of, we're not journalists, but that kind of journalistic ethic. Those ethics in broadcasting.
So are you saying you can be ethical and moral without necessarily having to because of a particular employment situation or a particular career? Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right, let's keep going, because there's a couple of little things, not long, but a couple of little things to share after this.
And there's nothing I can do about that now.
I've doxed him. There's nothing I can do.
That person has contacted me quite a lot since.
Oh. Just listen to the measured way he's speaking. I'm not going to play it for you, but if you went back to when he first spoke about this person, listen to the measured, the words he is picking carefully.
I don't really want to comment. I'm not going to repeat the
I don't want to
correspondence,
comment.
But it would appear to me that person has had a few things going on in their life which are causing some strain. And a number of people obviously have contacted or made comment about him during the last week or so.
I'd
ask that we don't. That person, that individual, is not really responsible for what the BSA are trying to do for their overreach and for this controversy. I think that person was an unwitting pawn in a wider game being played by the wokesters at the BSA. So I would ask that you leave that person alone. They've also suffered a bereavement in the last week or so, and they are clearly feeling that, and that's impacting on them. So I do ask that we stick to the issue on this, and we don't play the person, and we don't do what, of course, it would appear to me the people at the BSA want to do. We don't launch our witch hunt against him. No point me taking down the stuff I've posted. It's already out there in the world.
Well, there actually is, because it's out there in the world, mostly on your site. So if people can come to your site, they can get it. You could absolutely take it down from there.
But let's be decent Kiwis about this, and let's leave that person alone and put our focus where it is, and that's on the issues that this whole thing has raised. Thank you very much. And if you want to talk about why I've taken that attitude, feel free to ring in now. Feel free to text me. But that's where it's at.
So, just to highlight a couple of things that were said. Sean Plunket, quote, "Don't play the person." Sean Plunket, "Let's be decent Kiwis." Now, I had a thought, Chewie, and my thought was, wonder if there's been, there's a couple of possibilities, maybe three, right? The first possibility is this person, and if you know the person who they are, I would love to speak to them. Off air, off the record, whatever. I've been trying to connect to them for a couple of days. So connect us. The first one is the person is being inundated, to use Sean's word about us, one person, but has been actually inundated with what I imagine is the most vulgar, filthiest, most violent rhetoric aimed at them. That's option one. Option two is that this person has had some kind of really serious issue in their life, and Sean is actually showing care and concern. I know, don't say it out loud, I know, but it is a possibility. The third option is me wondering if there's been any more legal threats, a la lawyer Barbara Bucket. Now, if you don't know this was just a few weeks ago, right? I'm not going to play you the audio, although this is, you can watch this if you want. Sean Plunket, a couple of weeks ago, put out a statement from Sean Plunket. He is making an apology in response to a statement of claim served on me 28th of July 2025 regarding comments that he made on the platform in June about the lawyer Barbara Bucket. I won't repeat those comments, but I want to be absolutely clear. I regret making them. I suspect he regrets making them because he was forced to pay for making them. I crossed a line I shouldn't have crossed. Whatever my views about the case in which Ms. Bucket was involved, it was wrong of me to question her personal integrity or motives, like he does with every person he disagrees with. This is why we said the other day, if you think we're kind of talking about this too much, we're going too hard, we are picking on a bully. He is a bully. Questioning personal integrity and motives is his MO. And we need to highlight this person, and we need to continue to kick him in the nuts until he actually starts to not play the fucking person and be a decent Kiwi. When he starts doing that, we'll stop kicking him in the nuts. The platform, open debate. The truth is, I let my frustration over the outcome of the employment dispute get the better of me, yada, yada, yada. Unreservedly apologise to Ms. Bucket what I've done, allowing others to repeat, so he influenced people, those allegations, and for broadcasting them publicly to the platform's listeners. And I want to make the same apology on behalf of the platform. I recognise that words alone won't undo the damage that I have caused. It's like, this is the magnanimous bit, or is it a legal judicial requirement that you pay? But what he's saying is, I recognise that words alone don't undo the damage that I have caused, but hopefully a public correction and apology will help in that regard. As a part of the setting of the High Court action brought by Ms. Bucket, I have paid her legal costs and a sum by way of damages. So the next option is perhaps there has been a legal issue come up around what he's done. That could be option 3. Finally, Chewie, here's something interesting for you. This is Sean Plunket's public page. You can see that this, what is it called? That's my login up there. That's actually an old podcast login. That's the Department of Conversation. And I can go and look at Sean Plunket, yeah? I've moved to my personal page and I go to Sean Plunket. Oh, free speech.
So that's a blessing.
Oh, no, try and get into Sean Plunket from my person. Oh, I'm blocked. Maybe it's a mistake. So let's go to the big hairy news one. There, we'll just go back and see if we can get to Sean Plunket through the big hairy news login. Oh yeah, it's still there. It's still there. So Captain Free Speech doesn't seem to be quite so free speech after all. Blocking people he doesn't like to hear from. You know how he rallies against people turning off comment sections? It's one of his things, as he turns off comment sections for individuals. Anyway, Chewie.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He's forgotten me again. I'm still on his page.
Chewie.
Maybe I'll remind him.
Get on there and remind him. Yeah, look, we just wanted to highlight it. He is backpedaling, as every narcissist who thinks that this is the thing, right? He's a bully. He thinks the world can't touch him, and he treats the world like he treats combative interviews on the platform. He thinks he can do in real life what he does to people on his radio show, and you can't. You can't treat people like that. There are both legal repercussions, social repercussions, and people who are bigger and badder bullies than you, who will continue to kick you in the nuts until you stand by what you've said and be a decent Kiwi. Done, Joey. I'm done.
Cool.
Love to hear your thoughts, though.
Sean's terrible. Look, he's saying this. This is a problem completely of his own creation.
Yep.
And it's one of those things of having morals and being ethical, and like if you were that, and if you knew that from your long and storied career, you'd know all of this, and you wouldn't make this mistake, and you wouldn't have to call off your goblin army from harassing a member of the public for having an opinion, which he is apparently very, very pro.
Yeah. His army, like the reason I say that thing about the person who made the complaint, the uptick we've seen of his supporters in our DMs, comments page, email box and stuff is significant. Yeah. And just remember, we started none of this. We reported on the original story, and then this is I have no evidence of this, but someone wondered over the weekend if he was into the whiskey bottle. Someone wondered that to me on a DM. Don't know that, have no evidence of that, don't know that, but for some reason he started to attack on the weekend, and we've responded. And again today we're just doing this is a news story we're reporting for you, just to show.